Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here. I just got a video question this morning from one of my subscribers who also happens to have his own channel and who is a personal trainer, and he had some questions regarding occlusion training or blood flow restriction training, and I'm going to answer that for you guys today. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. Alright, and here is his video question.
JP's Fitness, bitch! Deal with it. And this is a question for Jason Blaha over there at that Ice Cream Fitness channel. If you're not subscribed, you're bullshitting with your life. Link in the description. Very knowledgeable dude. And he's from Texas, so that's like 2 thumbs up in my book. Fellow Texan, knows his shit. Ain't too many, where are the problems? But anyway, question. I got a couple clients, personal training clients. I personal train along with going to school and another side job. And they're at the point where they've stuck with the program long enough to where they're actually looking into their own shit. They come and they ask me questions. What do you think about this theory? What do you think about this sort of type of exercises and things like that? And normally I just answer them. We go back and forth, and I ask, do you want to incorporate that? And blase, whatever. But they asked me about blood flow restriction. And the thing is, for those on my channel, I haven't gone over it, but I don't get down with blood flow restriction. I feel like it's a lot for like some really bullshit. Like you're bullshitting, bro. Chill. It's not that serious. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm saying it's really, you're reaching for shit at that point. So I'm not a fan of it, and I just wanted to get your take on it. And you're beyond any secret, you're way more eloquent than I am. So how would you tell a client that what they want to do, you're not down with, really? And keep doing your thing, man. Love your videos, love your channel. Shout out all the way back from your original home of the great state of Texas. And if you could answer this, I'd really appreciate it, man. Until then, for everybody else, appreciate you watching my videos. Appreciate you for liking my videos. And if you could click that button up there, I would appreciate it if you subscribe. Holla at your guala, man.
Alright, this is a common problem a lot of trainers and coaches and other people deal with, is that your clients or athletes or the people that you're working with, they see new methods come out and they get eager to try them, and they want to jump in and add it to their program, and it may or may not always be appropriate for that person. Now, I did cover the occlusion training in one of my Monday Q&As a couple of weeks back, and I personally am not a fan of this. I don't consider it to be an equal method to conventional training, and I'm going to get into some details of why. And I don't mean from a hypertrophy perspective. Some of the other YouTube channels have highlighted this a bit, and I don't mean this as a knock to them, because I'm actually friends with some of these people, and others are people that I respect even though I don't really know them. And so the issue becomes one of, I think that they're just throwing this out there to put something out there that other people haven't seen, not because it's necessarily particularly effective. Now, there is some data suggesting that occlusion training, or again, training with tourniquets on and using a lighter weight, can induce as much hypertrophy in a target muscle. And obviously you're going to be limited to things like arms and legs, because you can't really wrap a tourniquet around your chest or your lats or your delts particularly effectively. So the issue with it, to me, it goes back to the argument that people make for it is that, well, if it gives equal results in terms of hypertrophy, but it puts less stress on the joints and connective tissue, it's safer over time. And I would make the exact opposite argument, that over time you're setting yourself up to tearing connective tissue on some of your bigger compounds, because you're getting less connective tissue work. And because you can only do these on the isos, you're not removing the strain on the joints, because you're not going to be doing this on a lot of your bigger movements. You're still going to be putting that same load on the joints as far as actual stress on the joints and things. But what it comes down to is that A proper training program with proper deloads and proper loading patterns is going to build bigger, stronger connective tissue. It's not going to lead to connective tissue issues. And by doing things like the occlusion training, you're actually removing some of the stress you need to hypertrophy connective tissue. So the argument could be made that it might slightly reduce the strength of connective tissue because you're only hypertrophying the muscle tissue through this method. You're not hypertrophying the connective tissue. So again, this is probably bro science in saying so, but my chain of logic is you're potentially setting yourself up for having stronger muscles and not quite as strong a connective tissue, and that's not a desirable situation. And on top of that, I simply don't see what benefits it offers of why you need to go through the trouble of buying tourniquets, wrapping tourniquets around your arms or your legs, and having a very, very small risk of tissue damage due to blood flow restriction. And again, if it's done correctly, the risk is very, very minimal, but it's still there. You're creating an extra additional risk and an extra additional hassle for no benefit, because there's no evidence to suggest that it's superior to conventional training of just doing curls with a heavier weight without the tourniquet. What is being suggested is that it may be equal. So that being said, you're not getting a benefit from it. And the day data starts coming out showing that it stimulates 20% more muscle growth across the board in the bicep, and we have peer-reviewed studies on it showing it in more advanced lifters, and it is checked by multiple different groups and they get the same findings, then I will get behind it absolutely and say, bodybuilders, doesn't matter what the risk is, fuck it, get your bigger biceps, go do your occlusion training. But until that data comes out showing that it is superior and not just potentially equal, I don't see any point in doing it. I think it's a waste of time. Alright guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you next time.